Are you somebody who says, I'm too small to be attacked, nobody cares about me? Well, let me show you what a day in the life of your website looks like. Here's a reality check if you think that you're too small for hackers to care about you. Most attacks are really made by bots. They know nothing about you and they don't care who you are, what you do. For them, it's simple. If you're online, you're a target. Did you know that about half of all visitors to your website are bots? And of those, 29% are there not to index your site but to actually attack you? Or did you think that because you don't get enough traffic, maybe that's the reason why you think you won't be attacked? In fact, the less traffic you get, the more likely you are to be hacked. This is a study from Imperva. It said that sites with less than 10 human visitors per day, 93% of that traffic was from bots, 48% from evil bots. So we tried an experiment, right? Stood up a bare bones AWS server. This is Amazon Web Services. Nothing running on that box. No domain name, just a plain old IP address, no services of any sort. So we hadn't advertised this at all. Sat there and looked over a 24-hour window. Guess what? Attacked more than 500,000 times. Fully 50% of those were on SSH, secure shell, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, so then took it a step further, opened up some services, HTTP, your typical web service, SSH, the aforementioned, and Telnet, because these are the ones that are popular out there. Most of the HTTP attacks that then occurred were chasing down MyPHPAdmin, very popular plugin, usually there at the back of WordPress, which is a common CMS solution. Most of the SSH and Telnet attacks were brute force. They're desperately trying the standard username passwords in the hope of being able to get in. So let's take a look at a dashboard showing data from a typical website over the last one day. What do we see? We see for this website there have been some server errors. We see that the server errors are distributed from a number of different IP addresses. We see that different URLs are being tried, including what we said, phpMyAdmin. So let's take a closer look at what's going on in this server. I'm going to click on server errors in order to say what sorts of errors have we seen. Well, what kind of error codes are we seeing? Well, we're seeing 404s, which is not found, and 405s, which is not allowed. And what were the URLs that were being tried? Well, there are some innocuous ones like the slash, the fave icon, and maybe robots.txt that could be legitimate, but the other ones are clearly not. So let's suppress the ones that could be legitimate in order to focus on the ones that look bogus. So we've suppressed the apparently okay URLs, and now having done that, let's expand the timeline. Maybe do this over the last 3 days to see what's been going on. And let's take a look at what we got. Who are the IP addresses that are visiting our website? Well, you see a number of them. The most common one appears to be this 185 number, right? What sorts of error codes did they get from us? Well, they mostly got a 404, right? They all got a 404, in fact. What were the URLs that they tried? And as you can see, they've been trying a variety of URLs. The one that might be especially annoying is this Muy Black Cat. You see this one down here? This is clearly not a clever thing. This is obviously someone that's after it. So if we take a look at who did that, you can see it's right here. And this is coming from this particular IP address. Well, if this IP address has been doing this kind of thing, I wonder what else he might have done in that 3-day window. Is this the only website that he's attacked? So I could pivot and choose that particular source IP. Now let's take a look at all of the IP addresses that he's tried to touch. Whoa, Nelly. He's actually touched each and every single IP that we have that's external facing. What were the applications? Well, he was for the most part after our port 80. So he was attacking all of our servers, wondering whether they are in fact web servers. In every case, he got a 404. So this didn't really help him a whole heck of a lot. And you can see that he tried a variety of different URLs in the hope of getting through. Now you can see there's also some traffic that's come from the Fortinet firewall at the boundary. You can also see that this is somebody that's out there in the Russian Federation, right? You can get that from the source geolocation. I mean, this IP is clearly in the Russian Federation, and he's trying each and every IP address that we have facing outside in an attempt to probe whether port 80 is right. And he's looked at phpMyAdmin, he's looked at different kinds of scripts, he's used different methods, right? He's not only just done gets, but he's also done posts in the hope of modifying this. So if these web servers had in fact been poorly configured, he would have probably gotten in and then conducted whatever other damage that he needed to do. So you saw that data from an IIS machine. Well, now let's take a look at an Apache machine. That's of course based on Linux. And what we see here is there are a variety of methods. If you remove the standard methods of the get, you find them trying funny things like connect and quit and delete. If you look only at the 404s, you can see the pattern. You know, it's up to maybe 8 on a particular day. It goes as low as 2. So this has been going on for some time. This is the breakup by response codes, and here for example is the traffic by error codes. Specifically, maybe we want to look at the 404. You can see that these errors are coming from a variety of machines again, and the user agent for the most part appears to be some type of Firefox running off of Windows. This can sometimes tell you, you can see that this is in fact REST sharp, or you can see that this is really straight an IP address. But looking at the 404s, what we see, and then further filtering that down to only those that tried to hit phpMyAdmin, what we can see is most of that traffic is coming from this particular IP. So let's go ahead and look that for the period, which is really only 1 day, maybe we should expand this out to 3 days to see what we can see. Now you can see that there is more traffic coming from maybe more other kinds of IP addresses that are hitting us. If you pick one of them, let's say we pick the 191, and take a look and see what sorts of traffic have come from it over the last 3 days, maybe we get a clue as to all sorts of things that this guy is up to. So as you can see, he's mostly doing port 80 type hits against all of these servers that are public facing, right? And the URLs he's trying is that phpMyAdmin. This particular attacker is out of the Netherlands. So as you can see very quickly, now if I were to remove the query and have him look at other URLs, you'll find that he's doing other kinds of stuff too. So the notion that you have a small server and no one cares is clearly an incorrect one. A recent report suggested that 43% of the cyber attacks that were observed were in fact going against small business, and in 60% of them go out of business within 6 months if in fact they sustain a dramatic cyber attack. It's so not true to say that I'm a small business, I'm too small for hackers to care about, and really nobody is targeting me, so I have really nothing much to fear. So what is it that we're expecting that you should do? Well, first of all, the basics never really go out of such style. Block all of the unused ports, whether they're SSH as you saw, Telnet. Disable any unneeded internet facing services. If you're not doing phpMyAdmin, don't need it. If you're not doing Telnet, don't need it. Patch regularly. This is common advice, but it's good advice. And if it's possible, instead of just merely trusting in your defenses, you can actually monitor. Perfect protection is in fact not practical, and so also monitoring is necessary. You want to put these kinds of skills, this type of technology to work? Take a look at eventtracker.com and especially the Symphonic service. It's there to help you defend against this kind of evil. The team at Symphonic catches all sorts of stuff by reviewing billions and billions of logs every day. Want to see what we've caught today? Come take a look at our Catch of the Day site. Thanks for your attention.